It's a really fantastic movement to be associated with, and I hope yes, that all other religious groups would have in Australia such a focus on peace and good relationship with other people as you do have. What's happened with Affinity Intercultural Society? You opened your houses, you opened your hearts, you opened your family to direct interaction with other people. It's very unusual, but it's possibly the best way about teaching your ideas, your philosophy to others, and possibly the best way to form friendships, and lasting friendships. It helps to understand the thinking, my thinking and your thinking. It helps us to talk directly, sometimes about the topics which in polite society are not mentioned. It's an ability not only to learn from you, but also to form trust on individual level between us, but also organizational trust. When I deal with Ahmet or with other leaders, I know they are not going to take me for a ride. They are not looking for something which is very specific and got to be done now, and they are ringing me only because of it. I know that there is much richer background behind it, and it's much easier then to work and to find solutions which are satisfactory to everyone. Well, Ramadan Mubarak, peace with you, and I really congratulate the Muslim community on Affinity leadership. Yeah, it's something special and something which will bring good to all of us.
Oh, tonight's iftar was just delightful because I'm with people that I've known for many years together, and sharing the deeper stories about what things are. The meal was wonderful. The opportunity to try Turkish food that's done so specially, and then to be in the company of the sharing of the understanding the concept of the iftar dinner, the home iftar, and being with everyone breaking the fast, knowing that you've gone through a day of prayer, a day of reflection and giving, and knowing that we're special guests for you. And so it's been a good night. Thank you. I know when I think about iftars, and I encourage people to come to iftar dinners, I talk about the value of getting to know people from another society, people from another culture and another religion, and maybe knowing a little bit more about the Muslim religion, which for many of us, we don't know. We don't know much about the concepts to understand the Quran and how it fits in. While they're not talked about at the iftar meal, generally, the values that sit behind that are expressed. And so for society, I think we can learn a lot from this harmony and this connection and this giving. And I wish the people of the Muslim group in this period a blessed Ramadan.
Well, I first got to meet Ahmet and the folk from Affinity through my work with the ABC. We had the chance to go to Affinity and join in some of the public lunches, which were very, very, very useful things, not just for Affinity, but for the community of Sydney, I think. It's a reminder of something that is important to all religious traditions, yet is something that's very easy to forget or to ritualise. But I think what Affinity have done is made it real. And I think the home iftars that Affinity conduct are just a fabulous way of doing that. And really building community in Australia. I think it's important here. I think it's important for Australians. Societies like Australia have forgotten. In some ways it takes you back to a pre-television age when people were used to actually talking around the table. And it's something that, because It was part of a religious tradition preserved within Islam and within other faiths like Christianity. The fact of making it real in a real sense again pushes back all the artificiality that we're constantly engaged in, because we're now a society basically as observers and consumers, not so much contributors, whereas a meal is essentially about contributing. I mean, you're part of the conversation. So these things have a way of sort of multiplying out and interconnect. And all of those interconnections actually build connections that you take away from that meal into your daily life. So you're building new webs of friendship. And those webs build from within a religious tradition out into the wider civil society. And I think that's really the key value out of that. To eat a little and then share a discussion on an important topic. So I think the value of those face-to-face encounters is enormous. I think the webinars are terrific to keep you in touch with the wider world, but they can't replace the personal interaction that Affinity has provided the City of Sydney and other cities in Australia over the last 10 years or so. I think they're extraordinarily valuable.